We praise Allah and we seek His guidance and mercy and blessings. And we bear witness that there is no one worthy of worship except Him. And we bear witness that Muhammad ﷺ is His servant and messenger. This is the khutbah, the first khutbah of this year 2025. And every time we wrap up with a khutbah, looking back at our accomplishments, our mistakes, and our faults. And then we prepare and talk in the first khutbah of the year about our plan, as everybody's making a resolution. But the resolution we want to make today is the most important resolution in our life. It is the most important, more important than making more money, paying off our debts, or losing weight, or gaining weight, or looking better. It's better than that. It's the most important resolution, which the Quran makes it as its central story. And as we see the mood of death in this room here, for a beautiful family, they lost their loved one, and they are going to have the janaza salat after this. I have to change a little bit topic to accommodate everyone as we focus, because at the end of the day, the best resolution we can make is how to meet Allah while He's pleased with us. Nobody talks about that because Allah is not the priority. God is not anymore the priority of people. Money, looks, wealth, and money. This is the priority. People like that mice caught in the circle, doesn't know how to get out, keeps the faster he goes until drops dead. I visited a millionaire brother, mashallah, Allah has blessed him with so much wealth, but he has knowledge. He's a man with knowledge. But I told him, how are you? I told him, how are you? He said, Imam, I'm like the mouse who's caught in the wheel. And I don't know, one day because of this stress of money and business, I've invested so much money, I have to worry too much. Allah is my witness, and He knows what happened that day when I spoke to the brother. He said, I'm afraid that I will have heart attack anytime, and I haven't enjoyed my money yet because I'm worrying about it. This is resolution number one that people are looking for. I need more money. No. Ask Allah to help you to pay off debts, and you don't need to stretch your hand. Al-yadul ulya khayrun min al-yadi sufla. The Prophet in many instances, he said, be the giver and don't be the receiver. We just want to be from this. This is the movement we want to do. We don't want to be this. We don't want to be this. We want to be this. From here to here. Al-yadul ulya. The hand that gives is better than the hand that receives. Therefore, we have many du'as, a daily du'a that many of us say in the morning. Allahumma kfini bihalalika an haramika waghnini bifadlika amman siwak. Oh Allah, make halal enough for me, so I don't need to go to haram. I don't have to seek illegal, illegitimate, unlawful, illicit means and ways to make money. Keep me with halal, and I will be content with it. Enough for me. Don't let shaitan lure me into the love or into making more resolution or how can make my belly bigger. They asked one guy, he had a big belly like this at the airport. What do you think of what's happening in Palestine and this? How do you see the situation? He said, I cannot even see my feet. You're asking me to see that. I cannot see my feet. I have to sit and, I'm not making fun, but this is the reality. I'm talking metaphorically. We want to fill up something. This belly doesn't have to stick up that much. Enough. بحسب ابن آدم, Rasulullah says, لقيمات يقمن صلبه. Enough for you, few bites to keep you صلبة, to keep your back straight. فإن كان لا محالة, if he has a strong appetite, then let him share. فثلث لطعامه وثلث لشرابه وثلث لنفسه. If he has to, some of us have a big appetite, then make sure third in your stomach for food, third for water, and third for air. And this, by the way, if you go to Hamburg, Germany, School of Medicine, they have this hadith on the wall. At Hamburg, one of those German universities. Even at Harvard, they have something like that. So this is to show you, you don't need too much to be happy. I know so many rich, not rich, heavy loaded people. They're not happy. They're not happy in their marriage. They're not happy with their life. Money has not brought for them anything. All the singing, our children listening to this rap and trap, garbage stuff. All they talk is money, women, cars, money, women, cars, money, women, and the music like that. The lyrics. That's what they do. That's it. All the movies. And this is how resolution has to be fixed, how you think of this life. Life is too short. Even if you live 89 years, like our brother, we're going to pray janazah on him right after this salat. Even 89 years is too short. Look, your birthday comes. Let's say your birthday is January 3rd. And then you realize in 2 months, 3 months, oh, my next birthday is coming. And you realize this when you hit 40 years old. When we're young, we don't care about that. As soon as you hit 40 years old, oh my God, I'm already 40, 41, I'm 47, I'm 50, I'm 55, 56, soon 60, 65, oh my God, 70. What's happening to me? We're living that. I see the heads nodding. My story and your story, yeah? I can't jump like I used to. I can't run like I used to. When I wake up aching. Habibi, the screws are getting loose. The screws are getting loose. And that's why you can move. Like a car, brand new car. Vroom. Hardly, the struts are so good. The shocks are so good. When you have a car for 10 years, the car, the same thing. We human beings. You get hit when you're 20, you don't care. When you get hit when you are 60 or 70, need months of rehabilitation. The 20 years old heals in 1 day, 24 hours. The 60 years old heals in 6 months. For the same impact. وَخُلِقَ الْإِنسَانُ ضَعِيفًا. And Allah gives us this story. How we come to existence. How we are conceived in our mother's wombs. How we are spermatozoid. With the ovula of the woman we become granula, zonula. And fetus. Allah sends the soul. And then you're born. Crying. And born with your hand like this. You're just willing to grab. A baby doesn't open hand. Like this. Screaming. Wants to grab. Give a child, I grab. They take everything. But when we die, our hands open. You will never find somebody dying like this. Let go. Let go. Life is too short, but don't worry about it. Too short to waste time, and we're wasting too much time on things. I make a resolution. I want you to make a resolution today, 2025, that I will live in a way that will please the reason why I'm here, my creator, my maker, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore, I will avoid what displeases him, and I will do what pleases him. And if I err or fall short, I will go back to him the same way I go to my mother and say, forgive me, mom, and she does forgive me. I will go to him and he will forgive me, because my maker is the most kind and the most forgiving, even more than my mother. This is how we're going to live. This is the resolution we make today. And some say, well, we know that. I know you know it, but do you do reaffirmation every morning you wake up? Is that your philosophy? People, first thing they open the phone in the morning, stock market. How many of us open the book of Allah the first thing in the morning? How many of us take time? We wake up rushing, we go to sleep rushing, we eat rushing, we meet people rushing, everything rush, rush, rush. That's why we have more heart attacks. We don't breathe enough, we don't eat properly, we don't sleep enough, we don't drink enough water. By the way, many people, studies have shown majority of the population doesn't drink enough water. And Allah created us from water. So if you're from water, you're supposed to drink water, but you don't drink water, that's why your life is miserable. You don't think right, you don't speak right, you don't see right. You're made from water. Just the water intake is messing up the whole world. When they are thirsty, they drink pop or juice, more sugar. This is the reality. Life is too short, my brother and my sister. So don't waste on time on things that don't bring you happiness, growth, or purpose. I repeat, happiness in this life and the hereafter. Growth physically, but also in your faith. If I'm not growing in my faith, that is not a good sign. That means when I die, gonna be less. See yourself. Were you more caring of your prayers and your relationship with your parents and neighbors and spending and giving 10 years ago, and now you're worse? That's not a good sign. That's called decadence, means you're going down. But if you're better than 10 years ago, that means you are improving. So inshallah, keep up the good job. You understand what I mean? When you slide down, you're going to slide down. It's going to be hard to climb up. So this is why invest your energy in what truly matters. Your relationships, including your relationship with your Creator. And then your relationship with your parents and spouse. Very important. And then your family. And then what you have. Everybody has a dream and a vision. Fulfill that. An experience that will make you feel alive, not dead. Things that bring you death and misfortune, stay away from it. Make this life meaningful life, because Allah said, I did not وَمَا خَلَقْنَا السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ وَمَا بَيْنَهُمَا إِلَّا بِالْحَقِّ وَأَجَلٍ مُسَمَّى. I have not created the heavens and the earth and what's in between them and you and everything except for a meaningful purpose and a prescribed deadline. Yeah, this resolution, you don't hear about it in the internet. Why? Because they don't want you to be focused on Allah. They want you to go and buy and make them richer. Buy things that are harmful for your marriage, for your life, for your body. Alcohol, why is it haram? Do we need rocket science to understand? Alcohol is causing all problems. Not only alcohol, and drugs. Look what's doing to the children, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yesterday, another breaking in a jewelry store in Toronto. Like you are in, this is Mad Max on steroid. Not Mad Max, on steroid. It's very bad. These kids 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. This is the reality. Unfortunately, the law is lax, and also there is no deterrence, and they do what they do. And when you find that, the reason, drugs, narcotics. And they stopped using cash and this. They're using some new currencies, not from the internet, from the dark web or the deep web. Things like you cannot imagine how they exchange and buy and sell these days. They've become so smart with their phones, some apps. They don't use internet. They use deep net, dark web, and to sell those jewelry. God be with us. No purpose in life. Just drugs, pleasures, this and that. So our purpose is very important. We are here to worship Allah. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. I have not created human beings and jinn beings except that they worship me. So from now on, my resolution is, how can I worship Allah in a way that pleases Him? Now, when people hear worship, they think going to the mosque. No, worship is not only praying and fasting. Those are only pillars of Islam. Worship also, stay away from haram. Watch your tongue. Don't listen to anything. Don't gossip. Don't lie. Don't take what's not yours. Clean your heart from jealousy, as we said in the last 2 khutbahs. Don't be selfish. Self-care. Look after your interests, not at the expense of others' interests. Don't be greedy. Stand with those who are oppressed, those who have no voice. That is how you worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is how you worship. If you have to pray or speak the truth and you have the opportunity, speak the truth, then pray. Because that is a higher priority. This is the reality that we have to understand. And this is the khutbah number 1 of this year, that we are going to straighten up everything. Our resolution is work on myself to become pleased with by Allah. Because when a believing person dies, we hope a brother Ahmed here in the coffin, when his soul goes back to Allah, and this is going to happen to all of us. Look, Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq used to say, كل امرئ مصبح في أهله والموت أقرب إليه من شراك نعله. Everyone waking up in his place, home, with his family, death is closer to them than the laces of their sandals or shoes. Very important. Imam Shafi'i has a beautiful, poem, and I'm not going to read all of it, but he said a beautiful thing. فَكَمْ مِنْ عَرُوسٍ زَيَّنُوهَا لِزَوْجِهَا وَأَكْفَانُهَا وَكَمْ مِنْ عَرُوسٍ زَيَّنُوهَا لِزَوْجِهَا أَكْفَانُهَا تُنْسَجُ وَهِيَ لَا تَدْرِي. How many brides they are making her, they're making her up for her groom, and she doesn't know that her shroud has just been made for her. How many of us don't understand? I buried recently a sister who just got married a month before. Death doesn't know no time. My brothers and my sisters, the central story in Islam and the Quran, be ready anytime when the angel of death comes to claim you and tell you, let's go. You can't buy him, you can't bribe him, you can do nothing. Therefore, I close. We must be grateful and patient with praises and dua. Be grateful, but show praises to Allah and those around you. And be patient and keep praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And number 2, know and believe that Allah does not do things randomly. Whatever is happening anywhere in the world, including your country in Gaza, wherever is happening anywhere in the world, my brothers and my sisters, it is because of Allah is the most wise. How could He be wise and look lives? He is the most wise. You lost 200 plus of your relatives, brother, but you are not in your head. Is Allah Al-Hakim? It is people like you that inspire me every day. You and your wife lost almost 300 lives, and people complain. You lost 300. How many janaza ghaib we had to do with you, brother? This family here lost 300. Husband and wife. Him by himself 200. Every day in 2024, we prayed, we had to do dua. Oh, I lost my loved one. He lost 300. And young, including children who were born. And brides who were fiancé, they were committed for wedding. And not to add the sibling. I'm not trying to shake your emotional, but I want you to inspire others to be patient. If you ask the likes of him, he'll tell you Allah is Al-Hakim Al-Alim. Allah is the most wise and Allah is most knowing. We don't look at this as minus, we look at it as plus. وَلَلْآخِرَةُ خَيْرٌ وَأَبْقَى. When you have a resolution that says, what matters for me is how I meet Allah, then everything is easy to take. Everything is easy to take. Not to add, إِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. So life of this world is short because it's a test. And we thank Allah that it is short, because the eternal life is long, eternal. And Allah says, make a resolution every year, every day, every morning, that what matters for you is what Allah wants, not what you want. And of course, we close asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless those who are patient. Because those who are patient, إِنَّمَا يُوَفَّى الصَّابِرُونَ أَجْرَهُمْ بِغَيْرِ حِسَابٍ. When you pray to Allah, my brother and my sister, ask Him to give you patience. Patience is a quality like no other quality. It's the quality of the prophets. It's the quality of the awliyaullah. Every prophet had to be patient. Patient means you're able to wait. And what is taken away from our children and the generation now, today, people are not patient anymore. People, they're not patient. They're not patient when they eat, when they sleep, when they're supposed to listen to others. Nobody's patient. The quality, resolution number 2 that we should focus on, how to become patient. How to become patient, and Salat will teach us patience. Sitting with elderly people, a generation that was patient, a generation that had to wait 30 minutes to make a coffee instead of 30 seconds. A generation that waited 4 hours to eat a meal instead of a generation that wants to eat a meal in 4 minutes. Your children, you go to a restaurant, as soon as you make the order, they're complaining the food is not here. We just ordered 5 minutes ago. I see brothers smiling because it's typical. That generation has to teach us. There are things you learn from the book and things you learn from the elders. You young people, sit more with the elders. Your grandparents, your uncles, they may not know much of your science and technology, but they have something that we don't have. Patience. Please. Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. يا أيها
الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله ولتنظر نفس ما قدمت لغد واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون ولا تكونوا كالذين نسوا الله فأنساهم أنفسهم أولئك هم الفاسقون لا يستوي أصحاب النار وأصحاب الجنة أصحاب الجنة هم الفائزون لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله وتلك الأمثال نضربها للناس لعلهم يتفكرون هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو عالم الغيب والشهادة هو الرحمن الرحيم هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر سبحان الله عما يشركون هو الله الخالق البارئ المصور له الأسماء الحسنى يسبح له ما في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم